The abundance portal is now open. Raise your vibration and come on in. Hello, hello, hello. You are listening to or watching the Manifest on Purpose show. I am the host, Kimbaley. My primary concern is helping you elevate or raise your state of consciousness. Thank you so much for joining today. Thank you for all of those you invite. And thank you for signing up here or on the website at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. The God in me loves the God in you. Today, we're in the abundance portal. I'm going to tell you all about the abundance portal, what it is, and what we can expect. But before we get into that, let's hear our Astro-Numerology forecast for today, courtesy of astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 mobile numerology app. It is Thursday, January the 16th. The sun is in Capricorn, the moon in Virgo. It's a 1 universal month, a 4 universal week, and an 8 universal day. It would be advisable to not let others in on what business or personal decisions you have in mind now. Strangely, because if you were to ask someone, they'll likely give their best advice and opinion as to what you should do regarding your funds or relationship. But do keep in mind, however, if in any way their advice goes bad or does not work out to your expectation, don't expect them to pick up the pieces or pay the piper, meaning it'll all be on you. Those under the signs of Capricorn, Aquarius, Libra, and those born on the 8th, 17th, 26th of the month are likely to give you their best and practical advice. Once again, that is the astronumerology forecast for today, courtesy of astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. You can go to a star 8, ASTAR, the number 8.com, or go to Google Play or the App Store to download that app. You can also find him and his services on Linktree /numbers and you. You will also have a chance to learn and grow in one of his powerful lectures coming up on January the 21st. It's called the Power Series. It's a series of lectures that will continue for the remainder of the year. The first one is on the 21st, and it's going to be about the power of your numerical cycles. Learn about the importance of cycles, and not only that, learn how to determine what your own cycles are and how to navigate those cycles. Make sure you click the QR code in the bottom corner of the flyer, or you can also go to Linktree /numbers and you. And I'm so excited. I hope you can tell that there's a little pep in my step today. And that is all because it is an epic day for me today. Today, I'm releasing my first single. Yes, my first single. I bet you like how I said that. Anyway, so what's happening is I have decided to do a collection of guided visualizations to help you program your mind for specific reasons. The very first single, which is available right now to you, is the Attracting Wealth Guided Visualization. This visualization is to help you program your mind for wealth and abundance. In order to get this 20-minute guided visualization, make sure that you click the QR code in the bottom of the screen so that you can go directly to the site, or you can also go to Kimbaley.com. Also, we're in the beginning of the year. Make sure that you get your astro-numerology forecast for the year so you can determine what you can expect for the year ahead, helping you navigate through this year. Also, while you're there, pick up your other reports, your personal report, your compatibility report. You can get a yearly forecast for your business. Did you know that? Yes, you can get a personal forecast for your business as well. And if you want to dive a little bit deeper into who you are, you can book your personal consultation with me, and you can do all of that at Kimbaley.com. Now that we got all this stuff out of the way, let's get into the abundance portal. So, as you can recognize, it is Thursday. And Thursday is Jupiter Day, and Jupiter brings forth good luck, prosperity. That's why I chose Thursdays to open the abundance portal. Now, the whole purpose of this portal is for you to get into the mindset of abundance. We're going to do that. And the way that I'm going to do it is by reading the oracle cards for the week ahead, letting us know what we can focus on about abundance for the week coming up. I'm going to do a universal reading, which will count for everyone. And then I will read a card for each birthday number and the corresponding zodiac sign. Now, the way to find your birthday number is simply think about the day that you were born. Whatever day you were born is your birthday number. If you're born on the 4th, your birthday number is a 4. If you're born on the 13th, you have to reduce the double digit down to a single digit. So you do that by using simple addition. And 1 plus 3 equals 4, meaning that your birthday number is a 4. So I'm going to do that reading after the universal reading. I really want you to be in that abundant flow. So I want you to take some time to pick something that represents abundance and bring it to the video with you and focus on that as well as the video at the same time so that we can all be in this space of abundance. And do me a favor, drop a comment down to let me know what are you bringing with you today to symbolize abundance. Now, today I had to bring out the big boy. This is my symbol of abundance today. This is a candle that a dear friend gave to me a few years ago. Well, actually, she gave me this candle, and I'm very sentimental when it comes to gifts. So when people give me stuff, a lot of times I don't want to open it. I don't want to use it. And when she first sent me the candle, I'm like, I'm not burning that. I'm saving it. And she was like, come on, you got to burn it. You got to burn it. And I was like, no, I'm not burning the candle. So what did she do? She went out and she purchased me another candle so that I could burn one and hold one. And guess what? I did not burn either candle. So I still have both candles. Don't forget, let me know what you are bringing with you to this video to symbolize abundance. So we're going to start with this card reading, and I'm going to start from Money and the Law of Attraction deck. And for those of you who are coming in for the first time, I read the oracle cards, use my intuition, and I also look at the numbers on the card, and I do the numerology on the cards as well. And I have my Trusty Dusty Trust Your Vibes by Sonia Chauquet. And that's going to be the advice cards. And for the affirmation, notes from the universe from Notes from the Universe on Abundance by Mike Dooley. I mix his name up sometimes. That's why I had to look. Okay, so we're going to get started with the universal reading. And the way I have began to read the cards, because I found it to be so much easier, I'm going to give it one big shuffle, and then I'll just pull the cards off the top of the deck, right off the top. This has made it so much easier for me because I don't have to keep picking up cards. Okay. So for the universal reading, I'll take the top 4 cards. The first card, which is the card that I call the cornerstone card because it is the first card. Usually the message from this card rings throughout the entire reading. This is a 41-5 card, and it says, the physical me is materialized spirit. Right here, the energy that I'm feeling, because there's a couple of things coming through right now. And one of the things that is coming through is something that I talked about in last week's message, how we are spiritual beings that are experiencing a physical universe, a physical experience, and it lets us know that we have that ability to tap into the spiritual side of ourselves, which is always abundant. Our birthright is abundance because we are spiritual beings. And the other thing that I think about this is the physical me is materialized spirit. So that can go deep, because the way that I'm looking at this is what manifestation really represents is going from nothing to something. So if you never believed in this concept, if you never believed that this concept is real, this right here is letting us know that we come in spiritually and we materialize in the physical form. Now, when we think about the spiritual side of us, that's the side that we can't see. A lot of people consider that side to be nothing because we cannot see it. But just because we cannot see it does not mean that it is not there, because we can clearly see within ourselves that we are here in these earth suits. That's what I like to call these physical bodies. We are definitely here, materialized in the physical realm, as if it's always been that way. But really, if people were trying to see it with the naked eye or see it with their sight, then they would not be able to see that spiritual side, because the spiritual side is something that is more so felt than seen. So the energy that I'm feeling for this cornerstone card is that just because you cannot see it does not mean it's not there. And I'm going to get a little deeper into that, because a lot of times people will say, what I intend to manifest is not in my life at this time. I don't see it. Where is it at? Well, isn't that the whole concept of faith? Believing in something that you can't see. And what I like to tell people is manifestation is all about alignment, which means that if you cannot see it, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It means that you are not in alignment with it. So during this abundance portal, I want you to keep in mind that just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not there. And this card, the 21-3 card, says, what if everything was always working out for me? And that's just like the 3, right? The 3 is talking about expansion, meaning that you're believing more in what you cannot see. So what this card is telling you You need to get in your mind that because you cannot see it, that it's not there. You need to look at it as if everything is working out for you. A lot of times, that's what I tell people when they complain about the weight and stuff. You don't know what is being moved around in the universe to get to you what you need or what you want. Be patient. Have you ever seen sometimes when you rush something, you hurry up and do it, and it seems like something goes wrong? When in fact, if you would have been patient about it and just know that it was coming to you, then things would have worked out a whole lot better for you. So, this is saying when you don't see it, believe that it's there. That's the time for you to believe in it. And the next card is the 58 card, which is the 13. And it says, I can earn money by doing whatever I love to do. This right here is saying, don't be afraid to step outside of the box and do something different, because to you, it may be something different, but to everybody else, it could be the different that they've been craving, or the different that they've been thirsting and hungering for. So make sure you step out of the box and do something different. The next one is the 23-5 card. I am becoming more aware of my feelings about money. To me, since this is a 23-5 card, I'm thinking of communication at this point. It's saying that, number one, if you know that you're becoming more aware about your feelings about money, this is something that you need to share with other people, because you can help people that are in the mindset that is not generating the things that they want in their life. It can also mean that constantly your feelings have been changing, your feelings have been shifting, and at this point it's time for you to know exactly how you feel about money. And a great way for you to do that is to communicate that with others, and that could be through your speech verbally, or it could be in the written form. So make sure that you're staying still, because we're talking about the energy of the five. We're talking about movement here, and the first number is the 2, and then it's the 23. So when you look at that 2 was telling you, okay, be patient. Just take a moment to think about what information just came to you from your feelings about money. And then with that number 3 there, go ahead and expand on that. That's what that is all about. So let's pull one of the advice cards to see what the advice card tell us to focus on this week. So basically, the cornerstone is telling you that even if you don't see it right now, don't lose the faith on it. Continue to believe it. Okay, so the first one, aura cleanse, and that's the 32-5 card. The 32-5 card. This right here is, I'm feeling like mental protection. Protect the information that you're getting coming in about abundance, because we know that abundance can be plenty of things, but what abundance really is the plentifulness of the good things of life. It's prosperity, so you need to focus on that, and anything else that you feel about abundance, you need to cleanse those things away. These are a time to get rid of those old thoughts and ideas and the limited mindset about abundance and money. And these are times to move forward and grow. Because if we don't get rid of those limited things that we learned, and this has been coming up in the past couple readings, so you're going to have to do what you can to Get rid of those negative beliefs, those limited beliefs. And by the way, that would be a great reason for you to get this guided visualization so that you can program abundance into your subconscious mind. Now, let's move on to the number one. If you're born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of the month, or come under signs of Leo and Aquarius, you are a number one. And number one, your card is, wow, did we get this card again? Same thing though. This is the 14 card, the number 59. Life is always working out for me. So the energy that I'm feeling is that you need to start looking at the fact that things are working out for you. This falls back on one of the cards that came up in the universal reading. Instead of thinking about what could go wrong, you need to start thinking about what is going right. The things that you see as going wrong at this point, these can be the things that can very much be helping you grow. So pay attention to those things when you're going through them, and look at those things as, what is the lesson that this is trying to teach me, instead of complaining. Because when you complain, you invite more of that into your life. And wow, you got the walk it off card. And this is the number 28 card. And what the walk it off card is telling you is that what you go through, know that you're going through it for a purpose. So when you go through it, don't take it personal. Just walk it off. Just know that it's taking you up another level. You know, you can stay at the same level for all of your life if you don't want to grow and if you don't want to elevate. But if you grow and you elevate, you're going to face something different or something new to overcome when you get to each level, or else everybody would just be stuck on the same level. So just walk it off. Just know that everything is happening for the good of you. And so now we're going to go to the number two. If you're born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th of the month, you are number two. Or if you fall on the sign of Cancer, and this is the 51-6 card. This card says, I can follow the trails of good feeling thoughts. This right here is saying, just keep your vibrations high. Keep following that trail. A lot of people get confused because their feelings and thoughts and emotions are up and down like a roller coaster all the time. But right here, this is telling you, because it's the number 6 card, that it's time for you to find balance. It's time for you to find balance. You need to get in that good feeling state, and you need to learn what you need to do to maintain that state of mind, because that state of mind is going to help you grow, and it's going to help you elevate and bring more abundance into your life. And with this 6 card here, it's telling me that this is definitely connected to your abundance. You know, so if you found that you are sometimes feeling good about your abundance or sometimes feeling bad about your abundance, that's a sign that you need to find the balance so that you can elevate your vibrations and so that you can truly be flowing in abundance, not just every now and then, but all the time. And we're going to go to your advice card, and it's saying, feed your spirit. And this is a number 11. This is the number 2 card. You know, so pay attention to the things that you feed yourself. And another thing that I'm feeling from this is, what you really need to do sometimes is to study people with abundance in their life. Study people that have gotten to the place in their life that you want to be in your life. Check out what they've done to get to where they are. And then you compare those things, and not a bad or negative comparison, but you look at those things and find out what things they did that you can feed your spirit with to help you grow. Now, everything that they do is not going to fit you or not going to serve you. So this is where you have to eat the meat and toss the bones. See what resonates with you, see what works for you, and those things that don't, you're going to have to let those things go. So it's going to require you to use your intuition. It's going to require you to be in that spiritual realm, because six also represents the spirituality as well. So make sure that you are in that spirit realm. You are feeling, and this is another thing that I'm hearing too, because when we talk about that cornerstone card, we're talking about going from spiritual to materializing. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we are here and we're focused on this physical body, but how much do we do to satisfy this spiritual body? So that's a part of what you need to focus on as well. Okay, we're going to do number 3, born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month, or come on the sign of Pisces or Sagittarius. You are number 3, and you got the 44-8 card. And this says, I can make a career of living happily ever after. And number 3, this is something that you need to know too. Believe in yourself. There are things that you want to do that other people may not understand, but this is the time where you're really going to have to believe in yourself. And sometimes you're going to have to laugh at those things that other people say or other people try to advise you against. So this right here is saying follow your gut, but at the same time, make sure that you're believing in yourself. And for the advice card, is the number 19 card, and that's the learn card that goes back to number 1. And this is something that you're going to have to pay attention to. And I said, go back to number 1. And that's the energy that I'm feeling for this card. You're going to have to go back to you. You're going to have to go back to what makes you happy, because it seems as if you may have been pleasing other people or trying to make other people happy. But not everybody is going to be happy. So what do you do? Do you continue to change for them? Or do you go within and discover what it is that you really like for yourself? That's what you're going to have to do, number 3, because whatever you decide to do or express is going to expand. Can you imagine expanding something that somebody else wanted you to do instead of something that you really wanted to do for yourself? That's not really happiness. And so we're going to go on to the number 4, born on the 4th, 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month, or come under signs of Aquarius and Leo. You are a number 4. And this card is the number 10 card. This is your interchangeable card. And it says that I can deliberately choose to feel better now. And this is important for the number 1, because we talk about the rulers of the planet, and Saturn is a co-ruler of the number 4. Saturn is a cold, dark planet, and one of the things, well, a couple of things that Saturn rules is anxiety and depression. So it's easy for a number 4 to get in a mood or feel down and things like that. And what this is saying is that you need to have something stored away, so that every time you get in that mood or every time you begin to feel bad, that you can go in and pull out and use as a tool to help you get through what you're going through. Sometimes it may be a funny picture. Sometimes it may be a funny video. Some people may like it on social media. Some people may go through meditations to help them. But what it is saying is that you definitely need to have something that you can always revert back to. Because as we know, The number four can also work a lot. And sometimes the number four can work so hard that they're all in their head about whatever it is that they're doing, and things may be happening. And before long, they're mentally tired and don't even realize that that's what the problem is. So the four needs to always have a backup plan of something that they can do to quickly raise their vibrations. Now, I'll tell you what I like to do. Sometimes I like to have what I call like a private party or a personal party, and that's where it's just me and I put my favorite playlist on, and I just take a couple of hours just enjoying music. And after a while, it'll kind of take your mind or get your mind off of whatever it is you were thinking about, and kind of gets you focused and raise your vibrations. So this may be something that can be helpful for you, or there may be other things that you may enjoy doing too. And this is the exercise your vibes card. So what I'm feeling from this card, this is an 11 too. You know, sometimes you may need that physical exercise. Sometimes, and just like I talked about that private party that I have sometimes, even in listening to your playlist, don't just listen to them, get all the way into it. Dance, enjoy yourself, physically. um Use that energy up, use it to burn off that anxiety, to burn off that depression, and to put you in another state of mind. Because once you get busy taking that walk, taking that jog, or dancing into your heart's content, you're going to be tired. You're going to be too physically tired to be mentally tired anymore. So take that advice, number four. And we're going to move on to the number five. You're a number five if you're born on the 5th, the 14th, the 23rd of the month, or come under the signs of Gemini and Virgo. This is the 34-7 card. My financial success does not require hard work. A lot of people are getting this card today because that's the thing I talked about in the beginning, and it came up in the last reading. A lot of people are thinking that abundance can't come to them because of XYZ, and that's not how you should feel. So, a lot of people may think that it requires hard work. And I'm serious. I don't know why these cards keep coming up, but people are feeling limited because they feel like they have to work hard. Sometimes they're like, oh, this is just too easy. We've been put in that worker mentality, ever since probably the industrial revolution, where we feel like in order to be successful you have to work hard. And of course that was the perfect thing to tell people that you wanted to get to work. But we need to realize that the spiritual side of ourselves already comes in abundance. One of the things that I love that I saw on a video was Dick Gregory. I think that's his name. But anyway, what he was saying is that look at nature. A lot of people feel like they have to work hard for money, but he made reference to the fact that when you look at nature, none of these animals in nature have a job. None of these animals in nature are working hard for their money. So it does not mean that we all have to work hard for money. That's one way that money can come in, but there's several other ways too. And the energy that I'm feeling, since I keep getting this card, is that people should be focused on this right now. People, I'm hearing that people need to be focused on other ways of making money, thinking outside of the box. People need to, and this is the seven card. So we're talking about visualization here. People need to explore different avenues of bringing abundance into their life at this time right here, and especially for you. So let's read your advice card. This card is saying be generous. And this is the number 5 card. So it this card right here is significant because of the fact that it's a number 5 card, and I'm reading the number 5. So, what this card is saying is being generous. One of the ways that you should focus on your financial success is by being generous. A lot of people think that, you know, that it's wrong to be generous, or they're thinking that they're taking something away from them if they be generous. But sometimes there comes points in life that you need to be generous. Sometimes there are some things that you can get, or some benefits that you can gain, that are more important than what that cash flow means at the time. Say for instance, if you're being generous and you learn something in the process, a life lesson that will go on to serve you for the rest of your life. So sometimes you need to open up your possibilities by being generous of others. So now we're going to move on to the 6th card, born on the 6th, the 15th, the 24th of the month, or coming under the signs of Libra and Taurus. You are a number 6. You got the number 9 card. And this card says appreciation and gratitude are two different vibrational states. And we've been over that one time before too. The question that I'm feeling for this card, number 6. Sure, you are grateful for it, but are you really appreciative for it? And this goes back to the 6 itself, or Libra and Taurus themselves. A lot of times it's like, even though they represents balance, sometimes they can be a little bit off balance, because yes, number 6 loves to serve, but number 6 also loves to be served. And sometimes if you're not careful, you could be in that point where you feel like, yes, they're serving, but it's not good enough. And there could be some complaints. So the question that I'm hearing right now is, yes, it's okay for you to be grateful, but can you move it up a little bit higher to appreciation? Can you value what somebody does for you, even if it's less than what you've done for them? This right here is so important. I remember there was a time before when someone talked to me about they sowed a seed. And if you don't know what sowed a seed is, like they gave a person something into their life. And in this case, it was money. They shared some money with somebody. And they were kind of worried about, should I worry about what they're going to do with it? What if they don't do what they say that they're going to do with it? And my answer to the question is, when you sow a seed, you sow it from your heart. It does not matter why you do it or what you get back in return, because it's something that you've done from your heart. And another thing that I like to say is that just because you sow a seed into a person's life does not mean that that seed is going to be returned to you through that same person. You can sow a seed in one person and you can reap the harvest through another way entirely. But the point is that you're sowing a seed. You should not be sowing the seed because you're expecting the same in return. You should be sowing the seed because it's coming from your heart and you actually want to improve someone else. Wow. Thank you, Jeannie. I love the way you wrote that down to me. And this is number 2 card. And it's saying get grounded. What I'm hearing here is what I heard in my country upbringing. You getting too big for your britches. This means don't think that you're so high up on a level that you can't sow to someone that has not made it to that level yet. In fact, those are the very people you need to be generous with your time, your love, your energy, your wisdom, your money, so that you can help these people grow. After all, number six, you're here for service. Okay, number six. We're going to go on to the number seven, born on the 7th, the 16th, the 25th of the month, and coming under the sign of Cancer. You are a number seven. And wow, it's the 16-7 card. So this is going to be significant. It says, my attention to unwanted attracts more unwanted. And what this is saying is make sure you raise your vibration. You know, sometimes it may be situations when you like, look, I don't feel like dealing with this today. But you need to take a note from the card that the number four says, and you need to have something that you can do to raise your vibration. You know, you need to free yourself of the things that you hear, because you got to think about also number seven. It's like when you think about things that are unwanted, it's a little different from everybody else because the seven has a tendency to worry. So these things are going to be on your mind for the longest period of time. So, one thing, first things first, is do things that you enjoy doing. If you don't enjoy doing it, then don't do it. This is the time for you to decide what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. And what you should be doing is focusing on the positive right now. Because no matter what happens, you're always going to come out on top. That's not the issue. It's just that you're worrying yourself sometimes from getting there. So make sure that you don't focus on those negative things, because the more you focus on those things, the more those things will come up in your life. And this is the 24-6 card, number seven. And it's saying claim your boundaries. And it's saying to you what I just said to you. You know, you have to tap into self the way that the seven knows how to do. And you have to do the things that you desire and know when to say no. You have to set those boundaries in your life, because nobody else is going to set those boundaries, because you best believe if anybody is trying to get on the other side of those boundaries, it's people that's trying to benefit themselves. So you have to be the one to set those boundaries. You know, instead of setting the boundaries, you know how we do it. We set the boundaries and we let people cross all over the boundaries. And then when they get on the other side of the boundaries, we mad at them, when really we can't be mad with anyone else but ourselves, because we allowed them to cross the boundaries. So make your boundaries, set your boundaries, number seven. And now we're going to move on to the eight. And the eight person is born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month, and come under the sign of Capricorn. And this is the 38 card, which breaks down to the master number 11. My story, the better my story gets, the better my life gets. And it seems like everybody is pretty much getting the same reading. And it feels like a lot like the reading from last week. So the better my story gets, the better my life gets. This right here to me today is saying creative visualization. This right here is talking about you creating the vision. And when we think about eight, sometimes that's a bit difficult because eights are a bit traditional. and it takes just a little bit for the eights to step outside the box. So, what you're going to have to do, and what I suggest that you start doing, eight, is begin to kind of step into or tap into that spiritual part of yourself and begin to imagine and visualize things that you would like to have or the things that you desire in your life. I want you to also dig into your spiritual nature more. Make sure that you're tapping in to check on self to see how am I doing. We're here, and when we talk about the number eight, we think about the fact that they're grounded in this physical reality. So what's going to help them is if they really tap into the spiritual side of themselves and start to listening to some of the messages that come through for them and start to pay attention to them, because now they want logic and they want things to be able to show up, but they also have to be able to see the spiritual side of their nature too. So this is what this is telling you to do. And all of those experiences that you have tapping into your spiritual nature, you need to keep documentation of this so that you can always go back and remember what you have been getting from this source in your life. And for the advice card, and the number five card is here telling you to sleep on it. And because the number five is your opposition card, number eight, this is saying that you need to give yourself some rest. I feel like you're pulling too hard or pushing too hard right now, and you really need to take time out to rest. And this right here may be what this card is really telling you when it says tap into your spiritual side. In this physical world, in this physical reality, you're on 100 right now, and you need to meditate maybe, or either if you can't really get into the meditation, go out in nature and take a walk to tap into yourself. It's time for you to take a break, because sometimes you push yourself a little bit too hard, and I'm feeling the energy that right now you're really pushing yourself hard. Last year was an 8 year, so I'm pretty sure that there was a lot going on. Maybe you need to step back and readjust and realign from last year, number eight. So we're going to move on to the number nine, born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month, or come under the signs of Aries, Scorpio, or Leo in a minor way. So we got the number 12 card, 5712. I can create both money and the time to enjoy it. This card right here is the 12 energy. And that lets me know that you need to be careful about making that statement. I can create both money and the time to enjoy it, because the number 12 speaks to the fact that you may need to be careful of people trying to take advantage of you. And a lot of people probably don't understand how this could happen to the number nine. But let me tell you something, number nine, if somebody can really learn who you truly are and the way you move and operate, then yes, it is possible to become one of the ones that someone is taking advantage of. So first of all, don't be too confident to think that people may take advantage of you, because if they know you and they know how to tap into you, because let me just give you an example. A number nine loves loyalty, so if you have somebody that comes into your life and they give you that loyalty that you need, and you feel that that person can be trusted, why can't they take advantage of you? So that's what I'm saying. The energy that I'm feeling from this card right here is that, yes, you can create the money, and you can have the time to enjoy it. But make sure when you enjoy it, you're enjoying it for you, and you're inviting along the people in your life that have really been there to support you, and the ones that really love and care for you, not ones that are taking advantage of you. And this is your card, the number 9 card, instant feedback. This right here is saying trust your spirit. Number 9, a lot of people don't know that number 9 is tapped into that spiritual side, or can be easily tapped into that spiritual side. So listen to that information that comes from within, because a lot of times you need to pay attention to it, because it's letting you know that this may be a person that's good for you, and this may be a person that's not. Sometimes it's hard for you to believe in your own intuition, or that you have intuition. But one of the characteristics of fire numbers is that they are intuitive. So you need to recognize that part in yourself, so that you can discern the people that come into your life, what they're there for, and how you can fit them into your world, and how you can fit into their world. So that was the overall reading. And so I'm going to give you my summation of the entire reading. And what this reading is really talking about is really tapping into the spiritual part of yourself, and not so much as listening to everything that you hear about abundance in this physical reality, because the information you get into this physical reality, a lot of it is going to feed the physical man, the physical body. What you need to really tap into is into the spiritual side of yourself, the one that is born into abundance, the one that comes here abundant already. Just because you can't see that does not mean that it's not happening. Just because you don't see the things that you would like to show up in your life right away doesn't mean that it does not happen. When things happen that seems chaotic to you, don't complain. Just be grateful that you are able to get through it, because you never know what each circumstance or each challenge is teaching you to get through. Don't think so much about what did I do wrong. Think about, what am I learning from this, instead of complaining. So there were a lot of jewels dropped in this today, and it lets me know that a lot of people are still in that limited mindset, and that's okay. We're here to grow one step at a time. And guess what? The limitations then come overnight. So you're not going to be able to get rid of these things overnight. It's going to take time. And I have faith that, because that was a part of the reading too, that all of you are going to be able to get to that point where you are in the mindset of abundance. And I'm going to be here until you do. So let me read the last card, and this is by Mike Dooley. Let's see what he says today. I'll just show you what the card looks like. I'll read it. Here's what I ask folks who aspire to being famously rich. Couldn't you just pretend you're a multimillionaire? Right after you're done pretending that you're not. It's all pretend. The universe. That's a very beautiful card. And I like that, because it really brightens this reading. It's just saying, why can't you pretend that the things that you don't see are already here? We pretend that the things that haven't arrived is already here through worrying and being in anxiety. But why not pretend that the best is happening to you? So for the week ahead, I ask you to pretend the best is happening to you. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.